What's up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF, man. Welcome back to Laker City, where the Lakers have fallen to the Clippers tonight, unfortunately. Scoreboard irrelevant. Just wanted to touch on some things we really need to work on. Some things I like because there's always positives out of everything. But, it's never a happy day when we lose to the crappy Clippers. So all I got to say is this. Look, I want to start with the positives. Positives were for sure Rajon Rondo, right? He's floor general. He did have a couple of too many turnovers for my liking, but still he was a floor general, playmaking, getting everybody involved, and just barking orders on both ends of the court. I love that. What else? I like Lance Stevenson. He's always playmaking, getting involved on both ends of the court. I like the way he's just exciting to watch, man, from crossovers to passes and the way he finishes around the basket very efficiently. Fun to watch. I like JaVale McGee in spurts, although sometimes he was getting exposed off of pick and rolls. And what else did I like? I like Kuzma tonight. And I like the fact that Ingram stayed aggressive even though his shot wasn't falling. So those are the things that I did like. Things I did not like. Now, a lot of people, there's a lot of Luke stands here. I myself still vouch for Luke because he is a head coach of the Lakers. But tonight is a classic example of why we had no shot at winning. First of all, the starting lineup, KCP, after Josh Hart has been playing so well, he takes him out of the lineup, and it just messes everything up. But that's not the reason why we lost. The reason why we lost is the rotations are bad. All right? First of all, he's been playing small ball lineups the last couple of nights, and tonight he decided to go big with Zubats against Montrezl Harrell. So when he actually could go small ball, he decides to go big, and Montrezl Harrell just ran circles around Zubats, which just shows me that Zubats is probably too slow to man the backup center position. Please, Mo Wagner, come back fast. So I didn't like that. And then when Boban comes in, when Zubats should have actually been in, that's when he gets pulled out. Now I get it. Luke is sticking to his minute restrictions, whatever. But I just don't like that. I always feel like we're at a mismatch with this coaching staff. Why do they let us get abused and exposed by certain teams, right? So that really bothered me. That irks me, man. I expect a lot more from the coaching staff. Again, I'm not with the pitchforks yet. I'm not saying fire Luke, none of that stuff. But we have to play to our advantage, all right? If we are quicker than a certain team, let's use that speed. If we're taller than them, let's use that height. They're doing that to us, guys. Boban was just eating. It was horrible to watch at the end when Zubats actually should have been in. And when he shouldn't have been in, when Montrezl Harrell was eating, again, inconsistent with the rotations. I don't understand. You could have thrown Beasley on him. You could have thrown Kuzma on him. Anybody. Right? But it's just crazy. Anyways, another thing I didn't like was the fact that the last game, we let the young guys finish and close out the game and win it for us. I'm talking Kuz, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. And this game, we didn't. In this game, we just mailed it in, even though we were right there the whole time, down by 6 points. We were right there. And, they didn't allow that to happen. They didn't allow our youngsters to close out the game again. So that's really tough. The coaching staff to me is very inconsistent. And how can you expect consistency from the players if you're getting inconsistency from the coaching staff, right? So that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of you guys are complaining. I'll get to the comment section in a bit. Too early for the fire Luke chance. I'm not going to go there. I still support the guy because I want him to improve. And I know it's just preseason. Again, not overreacting about this loss. But come on, we're clearly the better team. Again, pick and roll defense needs to improve, though, with this team because I noticed when our guards get caught in screens, now everybody's scrambling. They get wide open layups, wide open three-pointers. We're not communicating. That's going to come with time. I'm okay with that. But as far as rotations, man, that really needs to improve. I expect a lot more from our team. And I know people will say, the 16% from the three-pointers made, not good. But most of those shots weren't even good shots. The only 2 3-pointers I think we made were from Kyle Kuzma. But it's too early for the fire Luke chance. I don't say that. I just hope he improves his rotations, man. I'm tired of getting abused. I'm tired of going small ball when, we have a misadvantage, when bigger people are just destroying us in the paint, and then going big when smaller guys are running circles around us. So that's what really bothers me. I'm sure it bothers a lot of you guys. So that's the only thing, man. I hope Luke Walton starts showing some sort of consistency with his rotations. Also, I do not want to see KCP in the starting lineup ever again. I'm sorry. He's very sloppy. Rondo gave him this behind-the-back pass. Well, all he had to do was catch and finish. Somehow he has like Kwame Brown hands where he's always losing it when they're playing, up tempo, which means he does not belong in the starting lineup because we're going to push the pace like crazy. He has Kwame Brown hands. That bothers me because if you guys remember, Kwame Brown could not catch anything. If it was handed to him, he couldn't catch it. So start Josh Hart, who was clearly the better player, and we'll go from there. KCP, I'm sure, will be a welcome addition off the bench. So it's all good, man. Preseason, not worried. Zubats is too slow. I really hope that Mo Wagner could come in and take his spot. So that's what I'm looking forward for. Hopefully Mo can come soon enough. Good news is that it looks like Lonzo Ball most likely will play Wednesday based on what the reports are saying, that LeBron and Lonzo will both be playing Wednesday when we face the Golden State Warriors. So that is what I'm looking forward to on Wednesday night, guys. That's our first measuring stick game. I'm sure the Lakers are going to want to at least compete and win, He said, can you shout me out? I only have 57 subs, and I do 2K19. Check the kid out, man. Check the kid out, especially if he is, a Laker fan. So check him out for sure. But as I'm saying, guys, a lot of things we got to improve: pick and roll defense, switching, communication. We got to stop fouling so much as well. We were out of fouls with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're not going to win like that, right? So I'm not worried about it because, again, those are third stringers, but still. Tough pill to swallow tonight. It is just preseason, so I'm not too worried, but I just hate losing to the Clippers. And you saw them cheering on the sideline, man. Just really annoying. But what do you guys think of tonight's performance? Who's your guys' favorite? I thought Rondo was good. I thought Lance Stevenson was good. Kuzma was solid. Brandon Ingram, at least he stayed aggressive. Yeah, he didn't have the best shooting night. That's going to happen. Josh Hart was good. KCP was better than the last time he played, but still lost the ball too many times in fast breaks. It just irritates me, man. Also, they got to cut back on turnovers. I know we want to play a fast pace, but we got to make the right passes, and we have to, continue to the chemistry will get us there, right? Guys have to have their hands in a ready position. Sometimes they're not ready to catch it. So we'll see. He said Ingram has the potential to be a star. He just has to stay consistent. Exactly. That's the key. I mentioned in the last video. Consistency is key with him. So Kevin King said, I just wasted 2 hours. LOL. Nah, man, it's never a waste because you learn something from your team, even when you lose. But I understand. Hey, Dan, how do you feel about J.R. Smith? I'm not really a fan. He reminds me of Swaggy P. Those are players that you can't bring around the locker room. They're kind of cancerous, especially if you have young players. So no, thank you. I'll pass on JR. He said, Dan, it could have been the no Staples Center effect. So far, we played away off the whole outside Staples Center. It's the inconsistency. I'm telling you, if there's an inconsistency with the coaching staff, they're starting different players every night. Even when you find a good combination, guys are going to play inconsistently because they're not buying into the roles yet. So he said, hey, Dan, buddy, don't worry. Regular season, everyone is going to try their butts off, and LeBron James is going to play basically the whole game. LOL. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, but you do want to, get the positives and the negatives, even when it's just preseason. That's my job. Well, I make it my job to tell you guys what I see personally from watching the games, give you guys my insight on that. And, sometimes you'll agree, sometimes you disagree. But bottom line is the Lakers have to improve for sure. He said, Lonzo needs to come back strong. Yeah, so hopefully Lonzo comes back on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to seeing him run with the first or second unit. Doesn't matter, man. I can't wait. Dan JaVale McGee stinks. No, I don't think he stinks. He does. Sometimes he does some Shaqtin' type plays, but did you guys see that throwdown he had off of the spin move? That was nice. So he's going to be catching lobs all season long. Chemistry will get us there. Again, he was getting fouled a lot. Sometimes wasn't getting called. But he has great hands, and athleticism to go up top. And I like his defense. He had 2 blocks again tonight. So he said, is preseason Lucas just experimenting? LOL, settled down. I don't mean to burst your bubble here, but last season he experimented well into halfway through the season, and roles kept getting reversed, and that's why we lost a lot. So I'm not going to settle down until I see improvement. But I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying fire Luke, so I don't even get why you say settle down. All I'm saying is there's inconsistencies, and, that's what's going to happen with inconsistencies. Don't expect players to be consistent if the coaching staff is not. So it starts at the top. Dan has confirmed Lonzo is playing Wednesday with LeBron James. Yes, sir. He said, Flippers fans get hype when they beat us. They love the trash talk. Yeah, it's the only relevancy they're ever going to get is playing the actual team of LA. So this is let them get their 2 minutes of fame. He said there is no magic button to play like you practice. Agreed. He said sometimes it feels like Kuzma plays like he's trying to make the team and he has to work on his shot selection. That's fine. He's young. He's going to continue to get better. Not concerned. I like his aggression, though. Sometimes we get no offense when he's not on the court, so not worried about it. Yeah, people that say fire Luke Walton, I understand that they want immediate results. So I get their haste, but at the same time, we got to just chill and wait to see if Luke is going to make the proper adjustments. Come midway through the season, I don't have to say nothing. If Luke doesn't have us playing above 500 basketball, then guess what? You said Luke don't have nothing to do with how people play. Oh, rotations matter. Trust me. If you put Zubats on Montrezl Harrell, obviously Harrell is quicker, right? Zubats is a step slow. He's gonna eat. And if you put that tiny lineup on whoever is out there that's over 7 feet tall, then it's gonna struggle. So I'm just saying, trust me, coaching staff does have a lot to do with the way players play. Rotations, mismatches. I mean, that's where, the above average fan understands. The below average fan will never understand that coaching really does matter as far as, the way they play. Not putting everything on Luke. Again, there's a lot of Luke stands out here. They're going to, again, I'm calling what I see. And I said Luke Walton's rotations were off. I didn't say it was completely Luke Walton's fault they lost. So don't put words in my mouth, guys. I'm just telling you. Don't. See, that's the thing. A lot of people are sensitive. They either have a favorite coach, a favorite player, and people like me can never say anything negative about their favorite person for whatever the reason. As soon as I say something, that everybody's coming at me talking about, stop putting everything on Luke. I never put everything on Luke. He said, who do you personally think wins Rookie of the Year? Rookie of the Year. To me, it's going to be between Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, and I'm not sure. It's probably going to be a coin flip between those two, but we'll see. Hey, Dan, so if Luke doesn't work out, who coaches on the open market should we look at? I like Mark Jackson. He's great at developing young talent, and he could also be a veterans coach. So I like Luke. I like Mark Jackson. But we'll see. Too early to call. Again, I'm not putting it all on Luke, but at the same time, you have to call him on his bad moves, and that was a bad move tonight. Bad rotations. Breed bad team morale. Thank you, Lee G. Somebody with some good basketball IQ over here. Yeah, they definitely got to play better all around. I agree. Again, pick and roll defense is my main thing. Mo Bamba, I don't know. I think he's a bit overrated. He looks like a good defensive type center, but I'm not sure what he's going to do on the offensive end other than dunk it here and there, There is no excitement in this team. Oh, there's definitely excitement, man. Tonight just was a bad example because, again, Josh Hart didn't start and because we didn't even try to close out the game. Luke Walton mailed it in. They didn't put out the guys in the fourth quarter. So it's all good. It's all good. I guarantee you that Golden State Warriors game should be more excited. So he said, it's all right, Dan. Same thing goes for LeBron stands, especially the lamestream media. Exactly, man. Look, there's going to be blame to share all the way around, but at the end of the day, it is a team sport. So it's no one person's fault, but we are going to dissect and pick apart the mistakes that they make, and that's all I'm saying. He said, Dan, I'm sort of mad right now about the loss. We just ended up being sloppy on offense. Yeah, there was no cohesion, but again, it's the rotations, man. I mean, do you really expect Zubats, KCP, and Rondo out there? All three of those guys have a hard time creating for themselves. You need guys like Lance in there, guys that can score, Kuzma at all times, right? So we are playing a shorter rotation right now because LeBron didn't play, but still, we were going to struggle to score, especially with some of these rotations that were put out there. So he said, I like Mark Jackson too. He hates the Warriors. Yeah, man, they did him dirty. He put together that team, built it together, and they just canned him and just had another guy step up in and take all the credit. So I understand why he hates him, but I think he's a great coach, and I don't understand why nobody gives him a shot in the NBA. He said, I think we play as if we can turn on that switch on every time. We are not that team. Yeah, you're right in the sense that we go on dry spells. But again, remember, LeBron's not out there. Lonzo hasn't really touched the court either. So those are guys that are going to help the offense continue to flow naturally. So not worried about it. He said, Dan, giving up second chances really killed us since game one. Even today's game is no difference. Thank you for reminding me. You're right. We have to box out and get rebounds. JaVale, sometimes he's more focused on blocking shots, and the team has to gang rebound and help him out on the boards. But that's a team effort again, you know. That's a team effort. He said these type of games are tests for true fans or not. I guess there'll be worse. There'll be worse games that are real tests, you know. Let's just call it like it is. Luke is a bum head coach. I don't know how Magic and Rob tolerate this. They're giving him a shot. He's not a bum. He's a capable head coach. We've seen him do a good job coaching games before, but he just needs to be consistent. Again, how do you expect any consistency from players if you're not a consistent coach? So we need to figure out a rotation and stick with it. If Kuzma is going to the starting lineup, leave him there. Last season, he took him out after he was taken over in the starting lineup, last season. And I didn't like that. And so far in training camp, he's taken out Josh Hart when he looks good in the starting lineup. So I say more consistency from the whole coaching staff, not just Luke. The Lakers would be undefeated if they play the Kings every game. You got jokes, Omar, but we're better than what we're showing. I'm not worried about that. Luke is doing fine. This is preseason, buddy. Hey, that's your opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. I think he can definitely step up his game. I gave him a whole year pass since the year we got him. People were already trashing him since year one because he was unproven, and I gave him a pass. I said, I'm not going to judge him till the second year. Last year was the second year, and, I gave him I forgot what grade I gave him. I think it was a C plus or B minus. I don't know. But he needs to be closer to, A, because honestly, with the roster he has a lot of good talent. He just needs to be able to play the right combination of players at the right time. And also, one thing that has always bothered me about him is when a player gets hot, he doesn't ride the hot hand. He benches them and sticks to the minute restriction. That's a problem. So those two things, if he can fix them, I'm on board with Luke. If he can't, then don't expect me to say anything positive about him. I'm sorry. Even if you like the guy, I like the guy too. But I'm just saying. You said, Dan, to be honest, it looks sad. I'm not going to go that far. I'm definitely excited about the season. I think we're going to have a great year. I think we're going to improve a lot. But again, players need to improve their pick and roll defense. Coaching staffs, they need to improve their rotations. Simple as that. Everybody has to improve. And that's going to happen with time. Thank you, Grant. I'm glad you understand, brother. He said, is Ingram like KD or Giannis? I wouldn't compare him to either because he has a mixture of a lot of different types of players. On defense, he reminds me a lot of Tayshaun Prince. On offense, he has the ball handling ability of a Lamar, but the scoring ability of a KD or, one of those slashing type bigs, maybe like Giannis. So you can compare him to so many people. He has a high ceiling, guys. I'm not going to put any ceiling on him right now. He said, Kyrie called AD to join him on the Celtics. Irrelevant. It's a year ahead. No worries. I'm not worried about it. The Kings and the Clippers are not playoff teams. We have a lot of work. You're right. But then again, we haven't played our actual lineup down the stretch, only in the Kings game, right? And they did what they're supposed to do. So there's still some stuff, to be optimistic about. Right? So he said, I'm a diehard Lakers fan. However, I can't afford to watch them on TV unless it's national TV. Anyone know of a cheap deal? Hook this man up, man. If anybody knows of a good place for him to watch or some sort of a cable provider, because Spectrum is actually pretty expensive. I pay like $130 a month just for the Lakers. Dan, mark my words, Luke will be up and out of here. The King will not put up with this. Watch. I agree. If he doesn't improve, I'm sure there's a sense of urgency there. So that's why I'm not worried this year. Whatever happens, it'll be fine. He said, improve little things on defense and we'll be fine. I also agree with that. I'm not hitting the panic button at all. It's just preseason. But you do see some flaws here and there. But there's also a lot of positives, man. When we played near full, right, when LeBron has played, Rondo, when everybody's on the court, we look amazing. We just have to figure out the rotations. That's all. He said, Dan, can Bron and the Lakers beat the Warriors this postseason? Potentially. Potentially. I have to see how we look during the regular season. It's too early to tell, man. I agree with you, Dan. Wanta needs to show that he can coach this team. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why if you notice, ESPN and all these guys have been talking about Luke Walton being on the hot seat. Now, I'm not sure about the hot seat. However, if he doesn't show something here early in the season, then you never know. He said, put Luke into the play and LeBron should coach. Nah, man. Players are players and coaches are coaches. We absolutely need a good general at the helm. He said, fire Walton and get who? LMAO. Walton made the Lakers a top 10 on D. We're young AF. Chill. He ain't no Byron. Well, nobody's comparing him to Byron. However, if you want to discredit, the young talent we have as well for them getting better on defense, then I wouldn't pin it all on Walton, on him making us a better defensive team at all. I think it has to do with the personnel. Yeah, the coaching staff has to do with it as well. But you just can't give the full credit to Luke. Oh, he made us a top 10 defensive team. No. Remember, young guys improve. They get better. We also have the personnel. We have lanky defenders like Brandon Ingram that can switch multiple positions. That's going to obviously improve our team, But I understand your point. Luke has done some good things. I'm not ripping him completely and saying, let's hit the red button and just drop him. Nah, I'm saying he needs to improve. That's simple as that. We can't get all sensitive, guys. We all want the same thing. We want the Lakers to get back to the top. So I'm just saying, just like players, coaches need to improve too. The whole team needs to get better, man. The whole team. So Dan, 7-game series, Lakers versus Celtics. Think we got it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm never betting against my Lakers, especially now when we're going up against the Celtics. He said, Dan, I wish we could trade KCP for Randall. Not happening, man. Honestly, the only reason why Randall wanted out and he went to the Pelicans is because he wants to earn himself a big contract. That's why he got a 1-year deal with a 1-year opt-in option for him. So he obviously wants to earn a big contract, and he knew he was going to have to buy into a role here with the Lakers, and he was not willing to do that. So he's about his money. He's going to cash in somewhere. How would you feel if LeVar Ball was a GM and head coach? Horrible. I don't think he's capable. He would just give the ball to his son, probably 100 plays out of the game. So, yeah, that's not going to help us. He said Randall left because he's a small forward and so is LeBron. Now, actually, he's a power forward, but they are going to play similar positions. So he knew he was going to have to get a backup spot, and he's not willing. So that's the reason they let him go. He said Randall and PG's agent was mad at the Lakers. Irrelevant, man. That agent is garbage. He'd rather, have his guy collect a paycheck and never compete in the West than come to a true contender and get more endorsement deals. And, I would have fired my agent if he was advising me against coming to the Lakers personally. He said, I was more impressed with the Summer League than preseason. Hopefully the regular season doesn't disappoint. It won't. It won't. We have LeBron James, and Brandon Ingram's going to step it up. I know Kuzma's continuing to improve. We just can't have instant glory, guys. I knew it was going to take some time for us to mesh. But again, remember, rotations and all that factors into everything, man. Everything. He said Lakers versus Celtics championship within the next 3 years. Lakers win. Absolutely. I'm not even sure if the Celtics are getting out. Not based off of preseason, because I know they've looked horrible in preseason, but not based off of that. Remember, there's other good teams in the East too, so they're not all the way in yet. Laker haters are out in full force, man. Hey, send them my way. I'll smack them back like Serena Williams backhand, just whack. We won't be really good until December. Most likely, but you know what? It'll still be fun in between, and I'm sure we're going to win a lot of games that we were losing last season. So I'm not worried, guys. I really am not worried. Y'all sleeping on Zoe? Hashtag crazy. I don't know who's sleeping on Zoe. I'm not. I know we miss his rebounding dearly, his defense. He's an upgrade defensively to Rondo. So that's why I still want him to start over Rondo. Hey, don't forget, we might make some moves come trade deadline. Yeah, I don't rule it out at all. I don't rule that out, but it's still too early, man. We still want to see what we have as a product. We haven't seen. This is nothing. We're scratching the surface. We're not what we're going to become in a couple of months. Trust me, guys. Trust me on this. We just got to be patient. I know we're impatient because we've been struggling for years now. But, what goes down will come up again. Same thing for what goes up must come down. So you'll see. The Lakers are on the rise, baby. These are players need to ball. We need to stop blaming coaches. Been doing that since Phil left. Mike D'Antoni looks good in Houston and Phoenix. And I was never one to blame D'Antoni, honestly. I actually like D'Antoni. We just didn't have the personnel for him to play with. But nobody's blaming only the coaches. We definitely gonna go in on the players this season. Keep it locked right here, man. I got you guys. Trust. That's what I'm saying. We absolutely need to improve our pick and roll defense. That goes for everybody. I notice when we get caught on down screens, guards are getting wide open shots, mid range shots, high percentage buckets. They're getting to the rim. We're not doing a good job communicating, backing up JaVale. Once he gets caught on the screen, there's nobody there to protect. We need to rotate from there, and so on and so forth. We just need to be quicker, but that's going to come with time. Remember, there's like 10 new players on this roster, so not worried, guys. Just stay positive. Don't panic. It's going to be a long season. It's going to be a fun season. There's going to be a lot of improvement. I expect 54 to 55 wins. He said Clipper fans right now are probably so confident they could actually beat us. Yes, but where were the Clipper fans when we got LeBron? Where were the Clipper fans when they lost, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre? I think some of those Clipper fans, they wanted to put on that purple and gold jersey. Look what happened to Clipper Darrell. So Clipper fans are non-existent. They're not real. They're mythical. They're like mythical creatures in the forest. They just don't exist. So, Clipper fans are only bandwagon fans that didn't want to ride to the Lakers through the hard times. So it is what it is, man. He said package for Anthony Davis, couple of vets and Zubats and picks by trade deadline. Nah, man, they're going to want a lot for Anthony. I guarantee you that it's going to take Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma. So I'm good on that. I get it. Anthony Davis will bring us instant success. But remember, you still need role players to win championships. If you gut your roster for a star and now you have LeBron and Anthony Davis, maybe you win the championship year one, but maybe an injury occurs and you're lacking depth. So we got to stay the course. We don't have to panic. That's something Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss would have did. They would have gutted the roster. They almost traded Brandon Ingram for DeMarcus. Imagine that. So I'm saying we can't be those type of fans, man. That's why we're not GMs. Lucky that we're in good hands with Magic and Rob, and they're going to stay the course and sign another max free agent this summer, most likely. But if they do decide to go out for Anthony Davis, I'm sure it'll be a deal that will knock our socks off, and we won't feel upset about it, hopefully. I'll take a couple more questions before I get off, guys. Unfortunately, we lost the Clippers, but it's just preseason, so this is as much as victory as the Clippers will taste. They're 3-0 in the preseason. That's how you know preseason is never an indication of regular season, because they're going to suck in the regular season. So he said, let Luke Walton coach. He is a good coach. Nobody's stopping him. We want him to coach. We want him to get better. I'm absolutely rooting for the guy. I've been saying it since day one. I'm rooting. As long as you're wearing that Laker uniform, I'm rooting for you. So I want him to do good. But if you're one of those people that are faint of heart and you're a Luke Walton stan, then this is not the channel for you, because I will go into him when he does bad decisions. And tonight was a perfect example. Zubats on Montrezl Harrell, and then what? Then Jonathan Williams or whatever his name is on that tall 7'7" guy. They just killed us in the end, but it didn't matter. Again, just preseason. But I hope this is not an indication of what he's going to do. I hope that KCP doesn't start in the regular season. Those are all bad moves. Boban, Marjanovic, or whatever. So, yeah, that guy. Thank you, guys. Always, I suck at remembering other players' irrelevant players' names. Other teams' irrelevant players' names. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. Boban. He said, no BI yet. Let Toronto and Zoe roll for now. He said, do you believe we will? I don't know what that means, brother. You got to spell out the whole word. He said, can blame preseason loss on a coach. Okay. I've heard this already, so I'm not even going to address it. You can rewind the video, bro, if you want to know what I had to say about the coaching staff. So, not blaming anything on one person. How do you feel about the way Kuz has been playing? I like it. I mean, he hasn't been out of character. He's staying aggressive. What do you have today? Like 15, 17 points efficiently? I thought he was more efficient than Brandon Ingram tonight. But I also like the way Brandon stayed aggressive. So he said, who do you think is our Kuzma this year? I really like Mo Wagner. I think he's going to log in some impressive minutes. I think we're going to be singing Magic and Rob's praises for drafting this kid. I also like Svi Mikhailuk, but he's getting his feet wet, so I'm not really – oh, you're talking to the chat room? I feel you, Matt. I feel you. Just so many people have come at me the wrong way. Like, I'm not killing Luke yet. Keyword yet. He said, Brian clearly makes everybody better. Absolutely. I can't wait. And when he's on there 35-plus minutes a night, he's going to make the world of a difference. We're going to win all these games. We probably would have went 4-0 had he been on the court. So Not worried about it. Either Kuz and Hart should start. Luke is tripping. Well, one of them, you have to keep one of them on the bench for firepower because they're both very good offensively, right? And there's only one ball to go around. So I'd probably keep Kuz on the bench for now and start Josh Hart just because Kuz would be the primary offensive target, just like he's been in the preseason. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Unfortunately, we get the loss, but hey, we got another crack at it on Wednesday. Hopefully, Lonzo and LeBron looks like they're going to play, so it should be fun. Keep a lock right here. If you haven't already, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys Wednesday. Peace out, guys. Have a great night.